Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll get started here shortly. Yeah, please let us know where you're joining from. Also, I'm going to drop in a little query. We're going to include a couple of demos in today's call, and I'd really like some input from the audience on an incident to create to sort of help drive the use case demo. If you guys could perhaps think of a cool incident that you'd like to just see so we can have some fun with it during the demo, that would be great. Hey, Mitch, hey, Byron. Folks, please do let us know where you're joining from. Right. Solid group from the United States. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, let's just give it we're 2 minutes in. Let's do another minute and then we'll get started. And again, I don't know if everybody saw my original post, but for our demo today, I'm going to be creating an incident. If you have an incident you'd like to see shown up on the screen, just something fun for us to look at to use to help drive our demonstration, please go ahead and put it in the chat. All right. Oh, and also, I'm gonna, while we're waiting for people to queue up here, I'm gonna ask you guys about the current state of your employee center. So we should see a poll in show up here. If you could please take a moment to respond, that would be great. Right. Go ahead and wind it down here. Okay, thanks. So we did ask this poll question. Thanks to those of you who've responded. Just asking about, this session today is on the how to maximize your employee center with ServiceNow and Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams. Go ahead and end this poll and share some results. And interestingly, what I'm seeing is 22% of you who've joined this session are not planning to use Employee Center, which is all good. 6% have don't have it set up but are planning to. 17% are still on Service Portal but planning to do the transition. 44% have Employee Center going but not integrated into Teams yet. So you're in the right place. Really excited to get to show you what you can do with the integration. And we'll talk about a bit about how to do that. And then 11% are already integrated. So fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna proceed into here and guys, Harsh and Raghu, if you guys could check out the Q&A questions and respond to that, I'd really appreciate it. So let's proceed here. Folks, thanks for joining again. I'm going to put up the wall of words here for our safe harbor statement, which really just goes to say that anything we talk about today that is not currently generally available represents a plan and not a promise, and purchase decisions should not be made on things that aren't generally available. All right, so got an expert panel joining today. I'm really grateful to Harsh and Raghu for joining. Raghu, I believe, is not able to join on via voice, but is joining us in spirit and can help with the Q&A. I'll do a quick introduction for myself and then pass it over to Harsh. My name's Jeff Fox. I'm the guy on the left. I'm a product manager here at ServiceNow. I've been with the company just over 2 years and focused on the ServiceNow and Microsoft alliance and the integration between teams and M365 with ServiceNow. Really enjoy figuring out how to make this thing work and sharing it with customers, trying to help people get more value from their current investments. So I'm really excited to have you guys on the call today. Looking forward to a great session. Please go ahead and make sure to communicate with us through the Q&A, and we'll have time at the end for more questions. So really looking forward to some good discussion. Over to you, Harsh.
Yeah. So this is Harsh. I'm senior software engineer. I'm with ServiceNow from past 2.5 years. I mostly work on ServiceNow and Microsoft 365 products integration. That's me. Over to Raghu.
Oh, I think Raghu's not able to speak up at this point, but is on for Q&A. Don't want to speak over you though, Raghu. All right. Happy to have you guys on with us. Today's session is a part of the Live on ServiceNow curated event series that's designed to connect you with ServiceNow experts and peers that can help you to deploy your products and achieve value faster. We hope you'll join us again at another webinar or event. You can see the schedule by scanning the QR code here, and we'll try to get a link in the chat before we're done today. But really appreciate you joining. And as a little bit of a segue there, we're winding it down, happy December. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving if you're in the United States, and looking forward to, the wintertime here in the Northern Hemisphere. We've got a session next week around how to connect ServiceNow and Teams. And then another one that's set up in the India time zone for the 19th of December. We are in the process of planning a series of events for 2024. And as a result of that, we have one other quick poll question that I'm going to run around what topics you would like to see us. Whoops, sorry about that. Oh wow, what other topics you'd like to see presented here? Let me get this running. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, I was sharing poll. This is what we get for trying to have the clowns run the circus. Okay, so I put up this 2024 topics and priorities. We listed a handful of items here that I think are a bit of highlights, but would really appreciate hearing from y'all about what you'd really like to see us focus on as we get into sessions for next year. So please let us know, and if something else, please go ahead and drop it into the chat. Would like to see how I can connect Microsoft Word with ServiceNow to do reporting of data in Word based on a template. We'll have to take that one away and see what we can do. That does sort of sound like a job for a generative AI application. So I appreciate it. We've got it here in the Q&A, and we'll probably need to come back later. I don't know if any of our panelists have anything to potentially add to that. Okay, so thanks to those of you who've responded to the poll. I'm just going to kind of share the results. And again, please do let us know in the chat or in the Q&A if you have anything else. So we're seeing a lot about 18% of the customer of you who've responded want to see how to configure the self-configured app, which would allow you to connect multiple ServiceNow instances to a Microsoft tenant for the integration. 41% wanted to look into notifications in Teams, which is great. We'll definitely focus on that. 18% want to learn more about initiating Teams notifications and calls. That would be through setting up the Notify connector. 18% also want to look into the sidebar integration, which I think will be really cool. And we've had a couple look into something else. So Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the input there, and please continue. If you come up with anything else, let us know what you think you'd like to hear about more next year. For what it's worth, we'll probably get started in the February timeframe with our next event. Pardon me, sorry. Okay, so just a quick bit of housekeeping before we dive in. We will have some time at the end for some Q&A, so please continue to use the Q&A on the Zoom chat at any point in time. This is being recorded and we'll present it on ServiceNow community, so that will be shared with you along with a copy of the deck. And we will have a survey at the end of this session. Would really, really appreciate any commentary you have on the presentation, on the content, as well as on us as speakers. So that really helps us to get better. So appreciate you responding to the survey. All right. Have one note here, wanted to share. So earlier in the year, it was in August, in fact, we renamed the application from ServiceNow for Microsoft Teams to be ServiceNow for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365. You'll see the names of the applications, and you can see it down at the bottom here. IT Service Management for Microsoft 365 is the specific application name now for the ITSM integration, and similar for HR Service Delivery. You may or may not see this depending on the version you're on for your platform, as well as the version of the plugin. You may or may not, sorry, I'm going to stop sharing this. You may or may not see it say ServiceNow for Microsoft Teams or ServiceNow for Microsoft 365 within your instance. And this is the reason why. So a little bit of information here about that. I'm also going to, I had a, shoot. All right, it was over here. So that content is here. If you go into our documentation, and I'm showing this because, and I think we're going to include some of it later in the demo portion as well. We're working always to make the documentation as good as it can be, but want you to know where to go to get some help, right? So the ServiceNow for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365 integration content is housed inside of Employee Service Management. And if you scroll down into that, you'll see ServiceNow for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365, which is where you'll get more of the details here. There's also content inside of the integrating ServiceNow piece as well. So when it comes to finding the documentation around how to learn more about and integrate, configure, manage, and use the integration, this is the de facto spot to look into. While we're here, I also want to share a survey that we released a couple of about a month ago now. And it is a video. It's a 1 hour long course that goes through how to do the integration. It focuses on using the pre-published app, and I highly recommend. It says Partner Essentials, but this is open to everybody. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. If I can find the chat, and here's the implementation course. Please check that out and let us know what you think about it. Okay, back to the session. So I'm going to go through a little bit about what we've got available with the integration today. We'll talk a little bit about the value proposition, and then we'll get into our demos. I'm not going to read to you this kind of backward-looking roadmap. Just to suffice it all to say, and you guys appreciate you joining us. We really have been working on the integration since our Paris release, and it initiated with the integration between Virtual Agent and ServiceNow. And then as the employee portal came out with Rome, it was integrated as well. And so we've got the application that really enables Virtual Agent and Employee Center to be shown to your employees inside of Teams. And we also have this employee experience component that places a lot of the collaborative functionality that's available through Teams inside of ServiceNow, so that the agent can reach out to a requester to talk about a case, or reach out to other subject matter experts to discuss a case. And a lot of the content that we've got since then is really driving on improvements on those areas. We launched Service Operations Workspace, which is a platform inside of the IT service management module that makes triaging cases all that much quicker and easier for agents. They're able to see more on the screen, do more, and we've built some pretty cool integrations around the agent experience inside of Service Operations Workspace. The company continues to really invest in what we're doing inside of SOW, as we term it, just like we are with Employee Center. Employee Center probably gets even more investment than Service Operations Workspace at this point. So we're providing as much value as we can through these sort of tentpole applications, and we're bringing to you through Microsoft Teams. So all the way up into what we recently released with the Vancouver launch in August. Employee Center is now available within Teams, Outlook, and Microsoft 365 application within Virtual Agent. We've made a handful of updates here, including access to the AI search capability within, you can conduct the AI search through a message extension feature. I'll show this in the demo as well, but that's a pretty cool way to surface Virtual Agent within the context of a chat or a channel. And then we are starting to bring our generative AI capabilities to bear through the integration that'll really come into play more so in our February release, where we'll have some multi-turn Q&A capabilities through Virtual Agent that'll be available inside of Microsoft Teams. Those will actually come out together, for the VA web portal view as well as inside of Teams. We also released a sidebar integration with Teams, and we have the Viva Connections integration went GA in August as well. Harsh is going to show us that here as the anchor on today's call. So just to talk at a high level around some of the functionality, want to really make sure everybody's rooted in what you can do through the integration. And there's more, this is there's even more than this through our spokes and webhooks, etc. So on to why are we doing this integration? What is the reason that ServiceNow has integrated with Microsoft Teams? And bear with me. All right, here we go. So to understand why, we talk to customers all the time, right? Talk to hundreds and talk to thousands of customers, and we really get this common theme that comes up where customers have an issue around driving better experiences for their employees and increasing efficiency. And in one form or another, every customer has this kind of an issue. Presumably you have some similar need in one or both of these areas as well. And this is such a critical issue because with the proliferation of applications that we see today, there are common challenges around managing the experience. Employees and agents have to wrestle through email, chat, different portals and applications to do their work, and it creates a stress. As I think everybody goes through it. Actually, I shouldn't try to project on everybody, but I know I'm toggling between applications all the time, and I think this is pretty common. Sometimes information sometimes it's just inefficient when you're moving around, and every time I go to toggle, I think it increases inefficiency and increases the likelihood of information being missed altogether. And this is meted out in the numbers when you do the research. McKinsey indicates that 20% is lost searching for information to complete a task or a workflow, right? The Harvard Business Review indicates that 9% of time is lost reorienting to a task after you visit a new application, right? Those are dollars. And then 43% of employees miss important information because they just have too many applications open. And again, not to project, but I know when you're, going through web browsers and different applications on the web, you've got Teams and email and potentially, slides and documents and Excel sheets open. I mean, things just get lost, right? I mean, this happens to everybody. And this is where ServiceNow and Microsoft started to work together so that we could improve efficiency by seamlessly weaving together ServiceNow and Microsoft experiences into the workspaces that people stay in the most, which for us would turn out to be ServiceNow and Microsoft Teams. And when you can do this, the benefits are really manyfold. You get a seamless experience and happier employees because it doesn't feel like ServiceNow or Microsoft Teams. It's a more unified experience across multiple agents, employees, and other workers. The increase in productivity is there because the integration between Teams and ServiceNow brings notifications, information, and action all into a single place. And then collaboration is optimized. So, when you take these two world-class platforms around, Microsoft and the Teams platform and ServiceNow as a workflow platform, good things happen. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the stakeholders and the benefits that they all get from the integration. And starting off with the CIO, they want to make sure that they're maximizing on their strategic investments that they've made around efficiency, collaboration, and the experience. And we're really able to prevent the need to buy third-party solutions by leveraging this integration with something that you currently have. There's nothing new to deploy because Teams is already out there, and so is ServiceNow. From a service owner's perspective, they want to be able to alert employees to outages through notifications and quickly bring experts onto a Teams bridge for streamlined collaboration to remediate major incidents. From an agent's perspective, they want to be able to connect with employees and other experts directly in Teams from ServiceNow so that they can stay in ServiceNow as much as possible. And employees don't want to have to leave their natural workspace when it comes to requesting service, finding answers, doing research, and providing information to agents. They can do all this directly inside of Teams, right? So we've talked a bit about the current applications. We talked a lot about the value of the integration. And I just want to share a little bit more about where we're going in the coming release. So we talk a little bit about what came out in Vancouver. That was over here in Q3. And sharing a little bit about our plans for Q4. And oh man, I'm so sorry. This one tentative item actually did get dropped. I need to remove that from the deck. But a cool couple of highlights I want to call out around the integrated experience and service feedback. And Harsh, if you could speak up here, I don't want to speak out of turn, and I've been going a lot, but the integrated experience and service feedback feature seemed pretty cool to me because it allows for a workflow or catalog item, an activity that is conducted inside of Employee Center. The capability that we're going to be releasing allows for that that feature to get feedback directly inside of Employee Center. So you can use a Likert scale to kind of get a 1 to 5 or thumbs up or thumbs down feedback, as well as I think there's a capability to get anonymous feedback as well. And there's a dashboard that also will bring that up, so you can see how satisfied employees are with what's being built inside of Employee Center. And then, so sorry, let me pause there. Harsh, did you have any comments or clarifications on that?
Yeah. No. Actually, just want to add one more thing. Is like it's just not on the employee center side. Even we have this integrated with the Outlook actionable messages. Like if a customer has the Outlook actionable messages, if they are getting an email for that, let's say they are kind of somebody is requesting something, or they have some approvers are having some approval emails. Even in that, also we have Outlook actionable messages injected for their feedback. So it's just not the feedback in the employee center side, but it's more than that, having it injected inside Outlook actionable messages also.
Indeed. Cool. And you know what? That's another topic we should really get into in terms of the Microsoft integration, is talk more about what you can do with Outlook actionable messages. Okay, and guys, I see that we the time has slipped, so I'll just call out the fact that we've got this Now Assist is our generative AI offering, and it's going to be available in Microsoft Teams as well as through virtual agents. So very cool capability there. It's going to revolutionize virtual agent. I'm real excited about that one. And then in the future, there's a couple of things to call out. I think to me, the real highlight is this easier install experience where we'll put an application. Today, we have now virtual agent on the store and on the Microsoft store. And so that's a very straightforward way to deploy virtual agent in Teams. And we talk about doing this integration. And there are a series of steps to it that include this manifest upload. And when we can get this easier install experience out into the market, it'll really simplify doing the integration. So I'm excited to see that. We don't have a date for it yet, but it's coming. And a couple of other really cool items for service operations workspace that'll make telephony a lot easier with this Azure Communication Services integration. And the collaborative notebook experience is going to drive a lot more and consolidate all the contents around how incidents are managed. Be very collaborative inside of it. So a lot of really cool things to go on there. Okay, let's get to the demo. And again, if you have questions or comments, and please go ahead and share in the chat. So I am going to, all right, so let's see here. Got a handful of tabs open. It's a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to start out here as Storm employee, right? Storm is a frontline worker. He is an employee and he's working inside of Teams. So I'm going to start out here and show he's in the middle of a team. This is a Microsoft team, just a general thing. And let's see, we can see here that there's a connection to a ServiceNow item here. And there's this question from Lakshmi, who's looking for a new phone. And Storm just purchased a phone that he's real happy with. So he's going to be able to go in here. This is the message, searching through the message extensions. So we've got this app put together here, and he really likes this iPhone that he purchased. And, in our demo setup, I've only got, a limited amount of data, but I guess I hit return here. So he's going to be able to share this Apple iPhone 13 and say, and the real value here, guys, is your employees are going to be able to take the ServiceNow knowledge base articles, service catalog items, as is shown here, as well as referring to people and anything else that's searchable for them within ServiceNow, and they're going to be able to share it. And that's what this entire feature is about. So, hey, Lakshmi, I just got this phone, and it's pretty awesome. And so Lakshmi will then be able to, receive this message and check out the phone, and it'll take her directly into the service catalog within ServiceNow. So that's one cool feature to get into here. So we talked a lot about maximizing employee center, right? Today's session is not going to focus so much about how to do the integration. Again, listening to comments, more people really seem to want to go on more of an end-to-end journey. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in. I've got customized the name of the tab here to call it Meow, because cats. And as we go to open up Employee Center for Storm, you guys who already have Employee Center know that it is just a robust intranet with targeted communications capabilities. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like it has fully. There we go. Took a minute there, didn't it? So Storm, being an employee, doesn't have a ton of approvals, but if we brought in somebody that had more approvals, they would be surfaced here, right? So all of his ServiceNow tasks and requests can all be surfaced here really easily, along with any highlight news that's coming from the company. You also are able to take all of your ServiceNow and other content and be able to present it to your employees, right? So if they want to go in and look into anything that you have around your HR system, if you have HRSD, anything around IT, if you want to kick off an incident, you could do that straight from here. There's many other sections, and so this Employee Center really allows placing employee center in teams really makes it easier for employees to not have to go find some bookmark on some other page to get to IT or to get to HR, or even to get to Workday. Because you can include applications inside of Employee Center. So instead of having to go to another location to find some of the common applications that an employee would access, they can be accessed directly here inside of EC. Similarly, there's a news feature, and these are deep bits of functionality that are available through Employee Center for you to enable your employees. One of the things, and I just wanted to check, I think I asked folks for an incident, and I don't know that anybody put one in, so I'm going to have to make something up. And if you can think of anything, let me know, but I'm just going to say, Harsh, I don't know, do you have a good incident to list here?
Jeff, I didn't get you.
What was that?
Sorry, you are asking something to me?
Yeah, just for an instance. So I'm going to start to type something in here. We're in Employee Center. We're on this create incident form that we got straight from the homepage. And I'm going to say something like payroll system is not working. All right. And before we even hit submit on this, you can see that these search results pop up, and an employee who has an issue, before they go to create a case, can actually go through and look at some potential items. We've got service catalog items, request items rather, as well as documentation from the knowledge base. So these are all potential ways to head off issues and reduce the caseload. But for the purpose of our demonstration here, I'm going to go ahead and create this. And within Employee Center, you can see that this incident was created just like that. I'm going to go ahead and copy this number down. And Storm can also add any clarifying statements like, I need to find my last 2 pay stubs, please. Oh, and look at this. We got some notifications. I wonder what that's from. So I just clicked on it here, and you can see we have notifications set up. This blue tint indicates a virtual agent notification, which is what we recommend in terms of making sure that updates are sent out to employees through virtual agent. And here's another, so I just entered in that update, and you can see that the description is listed right here. So, and I have this this particular instance set up so that anytime there's an update to a case, and it's a notification comes out. So there's a lot of notifications that are set up in here. This process is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go on back into Employee Center. Or sorry, I think I did actually meant to get in here. So can't really see the bottom through the scene. And so he's going to now start to engage with the virtual agent. Storm is. So he types hi, and we can see the agent now is coming back on. Comes up, and this is just default here. We've got a lot of template items that come out of the box with IT Service Management. HRSD has out of the box items as well through virtual agent. And I'm not going to go through a full VA demo here. In fact, I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. So we're just going to try to access the live agent. Whoops. And before we do this, okay, so I went ahead and clicked it, and fortunately I had my agent, Lakshmi, already online. Because sometimes things work out. And you can see she's got a couple of things in her queue here. Whoops. All right, here we go. So there's this one incident that came up earlier, but there's also this interaction request from Storm. Right, so we're going to go ahead and open this up. Lakshmi is inside of Service Operations Workspace. I'm going to close on this, and it is opening up this interaction request. And here we go. So she's going to be able to see the chat. You can see there's a notification that goes to Joe about the fact that Lakshmi is coming on board. Hi, Lakshmi. I just created an incident and would like help. I need to get my pay stubs. Okay, let's dig into this. So let's just say that Lakshmi starts to dig into it and she realizes, whoops, the payroll system is down. So Lakshmi is going to go ahead and escalate this. Oh, sorry, we're not in an incident yet. So we're going to make this into an incident. And this is all standard service operations workspace functionality. Payroll system is down. And urgency is high. So there's all these fields that could be set up, and we're going to assign to me and save it. All right, so this is done, and at this point, we're to show the functionality, we're going to promote this to a major incident. Payroll needs to be set. All right. So now this is promoted to a major incident, we're going to leverage some of our notify capability by going into the workbench. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to send out a notification. And sorry, I should slow down a little bit. So everything that's included in the incident, we just created this one, but it would be included here in the work notes. I'm going to do this notification, which is easy enough to do. We're going to create a new communications plan. It's going to be a Teams notification, and fix payroll. And there's a capability to send out the notification to different groups who are defined inside of ServiceNow. Because I've got Storm sitting here, I'm just going to use Storm, and I'm going to add Storm in, and I'm going to save it. And this item shows up inside of our workbench. I'm going to go ahead and compose the notification. This could go to all employees if you can envision how that would work on your end. This is just going simply is down. We are working to and send. And look at this. This notification just popped up. It's not blue. It's not a VA notification. It is an ITSM notification. But this could go to your entire employee base. So now, as it happens, I know I said earlier that Storm was a low-level employee, but he's also going to be able to help with this issue. So I go into the Collaborate tab. This is where you're going to be able to set up a Teams call. I'm going to say payroll remediation. Whoops. Understand. Okay, so it could kick off a group chat, but selecting a conference is the approach to make this happen. And we're going to select some users here. We're going to select Storm and add Storm in. And similar to the notification for the Collaborate piece, we're going to go ahead and initiate this call. And we're going to have Lakshmi join and Storm. You can see here that we've got a reference to the payroll system. Should have mentioned that all of the content from the chats and these calls are all retained within the incident record itself. So you can review and bring people up to speed and learn from any of the issues that have happened as they go. So this call is now kicking off. Okay. And here is the notify connector now calling Storm. And I'm gonna click here to join the Teams meeting on the browser. So here I'm gonna mute Storm while this is spinning up for Lakshmi. And we've got a Teams call. So Storm and Lakshmi are able to talk. If you guys can suspend some disbelief here, they are the right people to address this system down issue. They talk through it, they work through it, they're able to share their screen, collaborate, and they indeed resolve the issue. So they're both going to leave this call. Sure glad that was over with. Within the context of the major incident, so this is, you can see now that this call has ended. I'm going to expand this a bit. And we have a setup where, and I didn't do a chat in the other call. I didn't do any chat while we were inside the call, and I didn't kick off a chat from in here. So we basically, though, were able to take an initial agent to a live agent transfer to create an incident, and then escalate that incident to a major incident, kick off a notification to users inside of Teams, and then have a Teams call to help remediate the issue. So that really concludes the demo portion that I was going to do on the use case. I know that was really quick, but wanted to, I hope you'll queue up any questions that you may have on it. And at this stage, we have another demo to share. And Harsh, I'd like to turn it over to you, please, to share more about the Viva Connections integration with Employee Center. Please.
Okay. Yeah, so the Viva Connections integration is like the prerequisite for this is like having Employee Center in the Teams that Jeff has already showed. So you should have that integration present, then only you can have the Viva Connections. So Viva Connections is a new the dashboard in the Microsoft Teams. Let me share my screen and show you how it does look like. Yep. So, so you can see like this is called Viva Connections. This you can let me go to somewhere else, the chats. So this is a offering from the Microsoft. This is a new dashboard. You can click on this. Your you can show your features in the Viva cards. So we have also one offering from the ServiceNow to inject the employee center inside the Viva card. So you can see this. This is the ServiceNow Viva card, and here is the link to go to the employee center. So from Viva card itself, we have injected the um, deep link the employee center inside the Viva card. If you click on this, it will redirect you to the ServiceNow for Teams app, like, or you can say ServiceNow for Microsoft 365. That's why I said like this configuration is a must for Viva card. This is the prerequisite. You can see you can directly open that through a Viva card. Not only that, if you I mean, here in the Viva card, not only employee center link, you can show how many uh, pending task, how many to-dos task is open for you. The count would be shown here. Currently, I have no pending task. That's why it is not showing here. Let's say if I go to the ServiceNow instance and open the to-dos and change my configuration to pull some to-dos task. Um, Let me change to currently zero record is matching this condition. That's why it is not showing any records. I will change it to, let's say, proved and see if condition is matching. Okay, now. Um, this is the to-dos out of the box to-dos configuration. So customers can have their own condition to pull the to-dos configuration. Probably I can check some other one. These are all to-dos configurations. Um, let's see if we could change anything in here. This showing. So if I refresh this car, let me go to somewhere else and come back here. So this is a cache issue. We log out and log in again. Sorry. Just okay. Think for this user, I have to change the to-dos for the. I think for this user, there is no to-dos
Ah,
pending. I have to add for that particular user. Probably first let me go through the configuration step, then I can, if time permits, then I can show you. There's nothing but just like for this particular user, there should be some to-dos, pending to-dos in the ServiceNow instance based on the configuration. So uh, for how you can configure this is like the prerequisite is like having the employee center integrated with the teams. Once you have that done, then we have this nice documentation available. You can follow this documentation. So for that, like first you need to go to the plugins page, and you have to install the Microsoft Viva Connections plugin. Hmm. This is the name of the plugin, Employee Center for Viva Connections, which is mentioned in the documentation. You can follow this documentation. You can install this plugin. After installing the plugin, you have to authorize it from the Install Azure Apps page. So this needs to be installed first, and then this employee experience integration with the Viva Connections. This you have to install. Once you install this, after that you need to update the Microsoft application ID of this app. This ServiceNow for Teams app. This app. This app will be inside. You have this app in your Teams admin account. You can copy that from there and add in the sys properties list of the
Harsh, if I could add in real quick. So going into the Teams admin console, similar to setting up the integration, is going to require the ServiceNow admin to work with their Microsoft admin counterparts, right? So they're going to be the ones that are going to need to go into the Teams admin console and provide this ID as you're showing now. This isn't probably something that most of the ServiceNow admins are going to have access to themselves, right?
so they need to copy this ID and they have to add in the there is Teams installed Teams app ID. This is properties present. They have to populate this value here, and they can see the name of the properties. It's mentioned here on the documentation also. This is name of the property, I think. This is not the one I'm searching. Sorry. Yeah, this is what the this property you have to update. After once you update this one, then you need to download the Viva package. From here you can download this, and this Viva package, after downloading, this is a sppkg extension file that should be given to the SharePoint admin, and SharePoint admin can upload it on the SharePoint. It's something like, if you go here, it will look like this. From here, you have to go log into SharePoint admin. You can go to the more features, apps, and then from apps, you can open the apps, and then you have to upload that SPP, downloaded SPP package here. Probably once you do this, then you have to add the CORS rule into the ServiceNow side to allow the request coming from the SharePoint to the ServiceNow instance. Yes, this course, Viva course rule, you have to include. This is the domain name of your SharePoint. So SharePoint URL. This is what you have to allow. The request will be coming from the SharePoint to ServiceNow to pull the to-dos task. So this is from the documentation point of view. Any questions on this?
Any questions? So we've got about 5 minutes left here. Harsh, thanks. Was there any more to share? Okay, great. So I actually had one thing to share here. There's a couple questions. The Q&A seems to be pretty light today, but I'm going to share my screen one more time. And thank you so much for that. I really appreciate seeing how it's, whoops. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen. Really appreciate seeing how it works. Okay, here we go. So there was a question around how chat history and whatnot is retained within the context of the request-based chat and the calls. So within SOW, there's this collaborate tab. When you put in the IT service management integration, you can do a request-based chat. This is the same location where the notify connector is surfaced inside of SOW through this calls tab. And you can do either one from this is a major incident. The major incident workbench is here, and we're still ticking. We never closed it. So this is still an active case, so you can still kick off a chat or a call. I did initiate a quick little chat with Storm after I saw the question pop in. And so the chat is retained within ServiceNow. It is not, it calls up the chat history every 30 minutes. So it will over time you'll see it in the activity here. So it can be accessed directly in the incident. You can also go and see the history inside of Teams from here as well. Same thing would go for a call. I think that the call history would be on the major incident side, and so there's no notes, but so the call history is retained. I need to figure out within major incident workbench where exactly that would go. But we do have access to see call recordings and know everybody who participates in a call, etc. Before I go too far, I don't know, Raghu, if this is something you can maybe comment on or write up in the chat around the conference access. Again, if it was a call that I had kicked off from inside the incident, it would be housed right here, and you'd be able to access the call and the recording from this area, similar to how you could open up this chat directly from here or view the chat inside of Teams. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. I hope that was useful. Folks, thank you for sticking with us. Are there any other comments or questions? We can take you off mute if you want to raise your hand, or if there's any other questions, but we're pretty close to the end here. Oh, I see a little bit more in the chat. Bear with me. All right. Yeah, thank you guys for participating. So I guess we're going to leave it there. If you have any other comments, please go ahead and put them in the community, or you could reach out to this email address, m365integration@servicenow.com. Please go ahead and feel free to email any questions you have around the integration, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next session. And if we don't see you before the new year, have a great holiday season, and we'll see you in 2024. Don't forget our session is next week, though, and we hope to see you then to talk more about connecting the platforms. We'll also send out the deck that has a link to the chat, to the training, as well as a bunch of other resources here. So thanks again.